It's a brand new season of competitive, and we just found out everything that's to come in Chapter 4 Season 1. Despite everybody's beliefs, we got a complete plot twist. Everyone was expecting it to either be mainly solos or mainly trios. And for some reason, Fortnite decided to make the next season duos once again. But there's a lot of new stuff to talk about, which we're going to cover in this video. Timestamps are down below. Don't forget to use code JivanTV when buying the Battle Pass, and let's hop into it. First off, the Placement Cup this season is on December 10th. That's right, the Placement Cup. That means we're still going to be having Divisional Cups in Chapter 4. If you remember how the Placement Cup worked from last season, it's exactly the same, mostly. For almost every region, this is how it works. In the Placement Cup, the top 1,400 teams make it to Round 2. In Round 2, the top 200 teams make it to Elite, and the top 1,000 teams make it to Challengers. Anybody else below that gets put into Contender. And then throughout the season, you compete in the Divisional Cups to try to make it to the upper divisions. But this season, something wild is happening. For NA East and NA West, only the top 100 teams make it to Elite, and the top 500 teams make it to Challengers. Yeah, you heard that right. For NA East and NA West, it's cut in half, but for every other region, it's normal. Now, I'm 99% certain on my theory here. I think this means that the NA East and NA West regions are going to get merged together. Here's my reasoning. What other reason would they have to cut the amount of qual in half? If NA East and NA West were still considered their own individual regions, they would get the same amount of people qualifying as every other region. But instead, they cut it in half, and so my theory is, later on in this season, I think they're going to merge NA East and NA West. So the reason only 100 people qual to Elite and 500 qual to Challenger is because later on they're going to merge the two regions together, so then it'll basically equal 200 people in Elite and 1,000 in Challengers. Doesn't that make sense? There had been rumors leading up to this season that NA East and NA West were going to get merged and there was going to be extra servers in the central of America. I personally think this fully confirms that it's going to happen soon. Why didn't they do it at the start of the season? Maybe they didn't want to overload the servers, I don't know. Anyways, enough on that topic. That's the Placement Cup, and it's starting December 10th this weekend. You need to be in Contenders to play in it, so go get grinding. The Divisional Cups are going to work exactly like last season, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over that. But the divisions that you're competing for do have a new effect. There's still going to be the Elite Cup finals with prize pools, but now you need to be an Elite for a different tournament that's coming up. The return of online FNCS is coming, but before it was for everyone in Champs. Now it's for everyone in Elite. So why is this still called the Fortnite Champion Series instead of the Fortnite Elite Series? I'm not sure, but that's been made official. FNCS is happening in February, which means we gotta get to Elite pretty much by the end of January. Pressure is on, especially in the NA region where your chances to qual are cut in half. One other thing that they changed this season is now the Divisional Cups are region locked. Last season, it was just the Placement Cup. You could only play on your own region, and then you would just start out in Contender on all the other regions. Well, not this season. You cannot play any of the Divisional Cups on any region except your own. If there weren't a bunch of other tourneys going on this season as well, I'd be pretty upset about that, but because there's other stuff going on, I'm cool. I would play like 12 hours straight on Divisional Cup days, so I'm probably not going to be dying inside as much this season, so that's kind of clutch. It's also important to note that these are the only tourneys that are region locked. The Divisional Cups, Placement Cups, and FNCS. All the other tourneys you should be able to play on any region. There's going to be more details announced about all these tournaments later on, but there are a few other concepts that they've announced. For example, the Duo Fills Cup. This is a duo tournament, but the only way you can play is if you're filling, which means you're queuing into duos as a solo and you're going to get paired up with a random teammate. They're doing this in hopes that it becomes easier to find teammates in the game, which I think is pretty cool. Every single match you're going to be paired with a new person, so you'll be able to meet a lot of people, and then if you find somebody that you enjoyed playing with, you can shoot them a friend request and play with them again in the future. It's kind of like speed dating, but for Fortnite. It's kind of funny. There's of course still going to be Zero Build Cups as well. They're going to be hosting 2 Zero Build Duo Cups every single week on Wednesdays and Fridays, but the Wednesday Cup is also a Fill Cup, so you'll be paired with a different person every single game. And then on Saturdays are the Zero Build Squad Cash Cups. It's literally the same as last season, minus the fill aspect. And now the biggest thing that we were all waiting for happened, kind of. I don't know how I feel about this. Solo Victory Cash Cups. Instead of bringing back normal solo Cash Cups, they made up this thing called a Victory Cup. Instead of gaining cumulative score throughout the entire tournament and in all of your matches, the only points that count are victory royales, apparently. That's what they're making it sound like. And then they say this is an exciting new way to earn prizes in Fortnite competitions for players of all skill levels throughout a tournament. I personally think this is kind of cool, but I also really wanted solo cash cups back in the normal sense. At least we got some form of solo competition back, you know, at least we're not just left in the dry, so I'll take it. And then there's going to be a collegiate cup once again in the spring of 2023, and console competitions are continuing. Console Champion Cup and PlayStation Cups. So there's a bit more happening this season than last season, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling the greatest about everything going on here. The Victory Cups, like, if there was Victory Cups and regular solo cash cups, yeah, I'd be down. The FNCS, if that was based on Arena, but then we have Divisional Cups also, like, that'd be awesome. There's no point to grinding Arena still. Like, it feels like Fortnite just has a bunch of the pieces to make a successful competitive game, and they're just throwing them in random places, and the puzzle is not coming together. But I'm gonna go into this season optimistic, and I'm gonna be making it fun in my own way. That leads me into the topic of my Discord server where I host tournaments. I've recently done some updates to it, you gotta go check it out. I added PR roles, I've added an improvement part of the Discord where you can find tutorials, other scrim servers for your region, and more. I've added a 1v1, 2v2 part of the Discord where you can find people to practice against in creative. I've added a bunch of stuff, and I did this work because I am planning on hosting a lot of tournaments, starting with a tournament tonight. If you want to have an opportunity to compete in like the first Fortnite tournament of the season, come play. I'll be hosting it on my stream. There's not going to be too much going on for most of December. The Divisional Cups don't start until January, so I'll try to host as much as I possibly can all throughout December. I've had a lot of people reaching out saying they want to fund tournaments. We're going to be playing late game mode on the new map, getting ready for those solo victory tournaments. All sorts of stuff is going to be happening, so join up, link is in the description. And the details for the tournament can be found in the scrim announcements part of the server. Last thing we got to talk about. I think the biggest thing that I'm sad about with this update is that they did not change a single thing with Arena again. We've been asking for an Arena rework for some time now, just so that we have more motivation to play the game, and so people will play Arena a bit more seriously and it's actually good practice, because right now it's just a key fest, everybody plays dumb, because it's kind of pointless, you know, there's nothing actually rewarding about playing Arena, especially since now we don't need to be in champs to play the tourneys. At the end of the day, it is what it is, but I would have loved to see something change, even if it was just as small as changing the point system. There are going to be rewards for anybody who gets to contender, and then there's going to be separate rewards for champs and Division 9, like the second division of champs. So there is something to grind for, but the rewards in the past have literally been like a spray or something like that, like super small stuff. Maybe they'll up their game this season though, you never know. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and got some excitement for the competitive season. I've got a ton of content coming soon to both channels, so stay tuned. Don't forget to use code JivanTV when getting the Battle Pass, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.